Have you ever had one of those days where the world just felt entirely too heavy, and you tried your absolute best to hide it from everyone around you? You put on a brave face, forced a bright and convincing smile for your family, and pretended with every ounce of your energy that everything was perfectly fine. You went through the motions of your daily routine, speaking in a steady voice and ensuring that no one could possibly detect the quiet storm of sorrow raging inside your chest. Yet, the very moment you finally sat down on the edge of the couch, letting your posture drop for just a fraction of a second, your dog quietly walked over from across the room. They did not just pass by, they stayed closer than usual, anchored their physical presence beside you, and simply refused to leave your side. To the human mind, this phenomenon feels almost spooky, as if our canine companions possess some kind of magical sixth sense or the telepathic ability to read our deepest unspoken thoughts. We look down at them, sitting there with silent devotion, and we wonder how they could possibly know what we are feeling when we have tried so desperately to conceal it. But the truth behind this incredible intuition is not magic at all, and it does not rely on the supernatural. It is a profound, beautifully complex biological reality, because your dog is a living, breathing empathy machine who knows you are hurting because they can literally smell your sadness. In our human world, we rely almost entirely on words and deliberate facial expressions to communicate how we feel, which makes it remarkably easy for us to lie to each other. We are a species built on visual and auditory signals, judging a person's state of mind by the curve of their mouth or the pitch of their voice. Because we have conscious control over these muscles, we can construct an impenetrable wall of deception to protect our vulnerabilities. We can tell a friend that we are doing great while our heart is quietly breaking, and because they only have human eyes and ears to rely on, they believe the lie. We navigate our entire social existence through these carefully constructed masks, but you can never, ever lie to your dog. They do not prioritize your words, and they are not easily fooled by the shape of your forced smile. They experience the universe through a completely different sensory dimension, relying on an evolutionary masterpiece of an olfactory system. To a dog, the truth of who you are and what you are feeling is not something you say. It is something your body physically broadcasts into the air around you. When you try to hide your feelings, you're attempting to hide a massive, radiating chemical plume from a creature specifically designed by nature to detect it. To truly understand how your dog reads your emotions, we must look at the staggering physical architecture of the canine nose. When a human takes a breath, we inhale and exhale through a single shared pathway, meaning our ability to smell is interrupted every single time we breathe out, because the spent air blows away any new odors. But when a dog inhales, a unique fold of tissue just inside their nostril acts as a biological splitter. A small portion of the air travels to the lungs for oxygen, while the majority is shunted upward into a complex chamber designed solely for capturing and analyzing scent. When they exhale, the air exits through specialized slits on the sides of their nostrils, creating an aerodynamic swirl that actually scoops up fresh odor molecules and ushers them directly into the front of the nose. This breathtaking design allows your dog to sniff continuously without the disruptive pause of exhaling. While a human possesses roughly 5 to 6 million smell receptors that would cover a small postage stamp, your dog possesses up to 300 million receptors that would unfold to the size of a large handkerchief. In their brain, the area dedicated exclusively to interpreting smells is proportionately 40 times larger than ours. They can detect substances at concentrations of 1 part per trillion, which is the equivalent of noticing a single drop of liquid diluted completely within 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. They do not just smell the room. They read an invisible, three-dimensional map of time, temperature, and emotion floating in the air. The next time your dog presses their heavy weight against your leg when you are quietly struggling, do not turn away or try to fix your posture to maintain your human mask. Gently rest your hand on their side. Take a long, slow breath together and simply whisper a soft, "Thank you," for seeing the invisible truth you were trying so hard to hide. Have you ever wondered why your dog always seems to know the exact moment a single tear falls down your cheek? While the invisible cloud of your breath and skin provides your dog with a clear reading of your daily anxiety, your body possesses another deeply potent mechanism for broadcasting emotional pain. Humans are the only species on Earth known to shed tears purely in response to emotional stimuli. For a long time, we thought crying was just a physical reaction, but modern science has revealed that crying is actually a highly complex evolutionary mechanism of chemical communication and self-medication. You see, the tears you shed when you are chopping an onion or walking outside into a biting cold winter wind are simply made of water and salt, designed to quickly wash away invading particles. But the tears that fall when your heart is shattered possess an entirely different molecular architecture. When you cry from overwhelming grief, your body creates an emotional tear that is chemically thicker and stickier. Because they are less watery, these emotional tears roll down your cheeks much more slowly and cling to your skin, effectively turning your face into a sustained chemical broadcasting dish. Hidden inside that heavy tear are natural biological painkillers produced by your brain to help your body endure severe stress and regulate suffering. This is the scientific reason why we so often feel a sense of physical and emotional exhaustion, yet profound relief after a heavy bout of crying. Your body is literally attempting to self-medicate its own distress by weeping out the chemistry of trauma. To another human being sitting across the room, the tears of grief falling down your face are entirely odorless. But to your dog, whose nose operates in parts per trillion, an emotional tear is a loud, chemical siren. When your dog approaches you while you are silently weeping, they are not merely reacting to the visual cue of your hunched shoulders. They are stepping directly into a dense, invisible cloud of those natural painkillers. The chemistry of the person they cherish above all else has shifted into a state of biological trauma. They do not comprehend the complicated human context of your sorrow. They do not need to know what happened at work. They do not understand the concept of financial stress. And they do not know why your heart is broken. All they know, with absolute unwavering certainty, is the unassailable truth of your physical chemistry, and their deeply ingrained instinct is to stay close until that invisible storm passes. So, the next time your dog gently leans their head against your chest while you cry, do not hastily wipe your face in embarrassment. Let them perform this beautiful, ancient act of care. Softly stroke their ears and tell them in a calm, genuine voice that you are going to be okay, allowing their quiet devotion to do exactly what nature intended it to do. Recognizing that your dog can smell your tears is only the first half of this beautiful equation. The true profundity of your bond is revealed in how your dog's own body reacts to that scent. Your dog does not simply process the smell of your sadness the way they might casually process the smell of a discarded food wrapper on the sidewalk. Instead, because they have lived intimately alongside us for thousands of years, the scent of human trauma triggers a severe physical reaction within the dog's own nervous system. They do not just know you are sad, they physically feel your sadness echoing within their own biology. Incredible scientific studies have actually monitored the beating hearts of dogs when they are exposed to the distinct body odors of stressed humans. When the dogs smelled the fear and anxiety, their own heart rates spiked significantly, mirroring the exact chaotic rhythm of the human who produced the sweat. When you are feeling completely overwhelmed, your dog absorbs that anxiety straight out of the air and processes your trauma through the beating of their own heart. The psychological impact of smelling your distress goes even deeper than a racing pulse. Researchers discovered that the invisible chemical cloud of human stress fundamentally alters a dog's emotional outlook, draining their natural optimism and replacing it with caution and emotional heaviness. In brilliant experiments, dogs who normally ran happily toward a bowl hoping for a treat suddenly moved incredibly slowly and exhibited deep hesitation the moment they smelled human anxiety. The scent of a stressed human had literally caused the dogs to become pessimistic. This means that when your dog sits beside you during your darkest moments, they are actively sacrificing their own optimism to share in your heavy feelings. They are stepping willingly into your storm, allowing your chemistry to alter their own worldview, so that you do not have to carry the burden alone. Understanding this immense biological machinery completely reframes everything about your relationship. When your dog approaches you while you are weeping, they are not performing a random act of curiosity. They have detected a massive chemical anomaly in the person they love, absorbed that distress into their own chest, and made the instinctual choice to comfort you. In human society, we expend exhausting amounts of energy wearing heavy masks because we fear judgment or being a burden. But a human can never pretend with their dog. They look past the forced smile and peer directly into the unalterable truth of your chemistry, offering you the purest, most uncomplicated form of comfort. So, the next time you find yourself silently struggling and your dog approaches you, your human instinct might be to push them away in a misguided attempt to protect them from your sadness. But the science proves that your dog already knows, and the broadcast has already been received. Pushing them away only creates confusion because their nose is screaming that you are in pain, but you are rejecting their comfort. The most profound response is to simply let them in. Speak to them in a soft, genuine voice. Drop the heavy mask of composure and allow yourself to take a long, deep exhale alongside them. As your body relaxes into their acceptance, your heart rate slows, altering the chemical cloud you are producing, which actually brings immense emotional relief to your dog in return. When you really stop to think about it, the human world is vastly complicated and endlessly wide. We have our bustling careers, our extended families, our lifelong friends, and decades of time to explore a massive, spinning globe. But for your dog, their entire universe is staggeringly small. Their world is the four walls of your home, the familiar patch of grass down the street, and you. You are their sun, their moon, and their absolute everything. They wait by the door for the exact moment you return, and they willingly absorb the heavy, invisible storms of your hardest days just to make you feel a little lighter. Their lives are so tragically short compared to ours, a fleeting, beautiful spark of pure devotion that we are incredibly lucky to witness. Armed with this new understanding of how deeply they feel your world, I want you to go look at your dog right now. If they are sleeping on the rug, gently walk over and rest your hand on their warm side. If they are sitting by your feet, give them the longest, most intentional scratch behind the ears. Forgive them for the chewed-up shoes or the barking at the mailman, because those small moments pale in comparison to the spiritual weight they carry for you every single day. They love you not in spite of your broken pieces, but because they have been there to help you carry every single one of them. What is the one strange, beautiful thing your dog does to comfort you that you now realize is pure, scientific love? Please share your stories in the comments below so we can all be reminded that we are never truly walking through the darkness alone. And if this journey into the soulful, unseen world of our dogs moved your heart, please subscribe and join our compassionate community of true dog lovers. We have so many more beautiful secrets to uncover about the animals who save us every day, and I cannot wait to share the next chapter with you.